All right, so thanks for joining us, everybody. Hello and welcome to the Power Apps Community Call for February 22. I'm Todd Baginski, and I'm really excited to be hanging out with April and Heather here today to bring you another fun month of Power App goodness. And all my Power App friends, I see so many of you here already in the call today. It's great to see you every month. If you haven't been here with this call with us before, we do this every month. We do it on the third Wednesday. We start at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So our next call will be on March 16th, 2022 at 8 a.m. Pacific. And what we like to do in this call is bring you the latest news and community contributions around the world of Power Apps. And we like to meet the product teams who are making Power Apps and people around the world who don't even work for Microsoft who are building awesome things on Power Apps. And so we all come together here and do technical deep dives, help each other answer questions and things that we're blocked on, and just learn a lot about this great technology. So it's not just me and Heather and April who bring you this call. There's other folks behind the scenes too. So we like to give a shout out to Heather Hernandez and Andrew Benson as well. They do a whole lot of work to put this up on the community site and produce the videos and get it up on YouTube so everybody can watch it all around the world. So thank you to them for doing that and making the blog to get the word out every single month. It's really appreciated. We also like to say thank you to the community, and we're real close to Valentine's Day here in the US. I'm not sure what it's called everywhere else around the world, but I'm sure Hallmark has some type of equivalent going on. But anyway, with big hug and heartfelt thanks to everyone who's part of this community, everyone who tweeted Power App CC in the last month. That's you and our cool word art graphic there. And our community goes beyond Twitter. It's right here, right now in the chat channel. We've got fast track recognized solution architects, folks on the Microsoft Power Apps engineering and evangelization teams, Power Apps MVPs, champions, all kinds of people who love Power App stuff. So if you have a question, please feel free to reach out right now and chat. There's going to be so many people ready to help you. It's going to be a lot of fun. So what are we doing today? In today's call, first thing we're going to do is we're going to see a presentation by the youngest presenter we've ever had on the Power Apps community call before today. And Pranav is going to bring us how to make your wishes come true with Power Apps. Who doesn't want that to happen, right? So that's going to be awesome. And then Robin has got some incredible work he's done with SVGs inside of Power Apps. And they both have a really cool demo to show us today on how to do these things. Usually we hop right into the presentations today, but April's got to run a little bit before the end of the call, which is totally cool. So we're going to move some things up to the front here and do our little shout out to the Power Apps community to start. So the first thing I'd like to point out is, whoa, look at that. It's only 2 and 3 days away, the Global Power Platform Bootcamp. You can go right here, right now, and sign up for sessions and check out and learn all kinds of incredible things about Power App just 2 days from now. There are so many different things that you will find on here, no matter what you're interested in. I think with Power Platform, you're probably going to find at least one session that you go, oh, I need to tune in for that. There's also the Power Addicts Hangout. This happens every single month. Head over to wearepoweraddicts.com. It's a call much like this one. People get together, hang out, talk about Power Apps, and just have a really good time. You'll also just find so many smart people sharing their experience and knowledge and helping each other out there too. So shout out to all the Power Addicts. And if you follow the Power Addict or Power Addicts hashtag on Twitter or LinkedIn, it's another really good way to connect with folks who love this tech and see the chatter about what's happening with it nowadays.
The next meeting is March 15th.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. And so I have the Low Code Revolution show that's on Learn TV. So would love to have all of you on as guests. I know Bryant has some great IoT stuff he's doing. So if you're interested in sharing anything cool that you're building with Power Apps or the Power Platform on the show, just go to that link there and get signed up and we can get you on.
That's awesome. And Bryant, it sounds like you've already got an invite today for that.
Yeah.
I bet we'll see you there soon too. I just got this one hot off the press this morning. Does anybody remember Emmanuel Gallus? He's here with us a lot every month, and he's done some really cool things and presented in the community call here. He started this website for the Power Platform French community. So if you speak French and you like Power Platform, this is the spot for you. I was checking it out this morning the first time, and je parle français un peu. J'ai étudié au français pour 4 heures à l'université. That's about all I remember, but I was able to read a little bit of what I saw there on this site, and it's cool to see how quickly he's grown that community up over there. I love seeing all the little ones here today. Hey, hi kids. How you doing? I've never seen the little group of kids on the call before. Hey, thanks for joining us. This one's also hot off the press, coming to us from Jamie, and he let me know that the Federal Business Applications webinar, that's happening tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So you can go sign up for that one, and they're going to be talking all about the recent Customer Experience Executive Order. You could go check that link out and see if that affects you and how you might be able to handle that. Then, now, we have something really fun here. So April pulled together this poll today, and this is something we've been considering for a while. Should we keep this as just the Power Apps community call, or should we turn it into the Power Platform community call and pull in flows and other things, and Power BI maybe in there too, and the remote process automation, all those kind of really cool things. What do you think? We would love your opinion on this and help us shape our call, and so we can bring you what you would like in the community too. I think our community would probably grow a lot too if we decided to do that as well. So thanks, Sancho, for putting that into the chat there. Good to see you again today too. So please go out and vote on that. Let us know what you think. We'll be collecting that information and deciding where we go forward with the call from there. So that will be really exciting. All right. So that brings us to like the meat of the presentations now. Now we get to see the demos. So it's time for our youngest presenter ever in Power Apps community call. I know he has been on other Power Apps for Kids things before too, and he's a regular attendee of our call as well. So I'd like to welcome Pranav to the call today, and he is going to show us how to make our wishes come true with Power Apps. So I'll let you take it from here, young man.
Thanks, Todd. Great turnout here today. Right, so how many times have you made a wish for Christmas, but it's not come true? Maybe your list didn't reach Santa, maybe you weren't on the nice list, maybe your list wasn't worthy, or maybe Santa just forgot to check his postbox. There are endless possibilities of what could have happened, and today many of you are parents with kids in the same situation. What if I told you I have a tried and tested solution to make your wishes and your kids' wishes come true? Well, guess what? There's an app for that. Hello, everybody. My name is Pranav Khurana, and I'm the world's youngest Microsoft. And today I'll be presenting to you My Good Deeds app. So, My Good Deeds app encourages kids to do good deeds and earn points for that. They can spend these points on making wishes to Father Christmas. And since these wishes are solidly backed up by the good deeds, they are most likely to come true. Well, provided that they're sensible. To build the app, I used SharePoint, Outlook, and Power Automate. In SharePoint, 3 lists, one for the good deeds information, one for the good deed points, and one for the wish list information. And in Outlook, 3 email addresses, one for the child, one for the parents, and Santa's email for the family, which you should ask your parents about if you are a kid on the school, as I know there are some. And 2 Power Automate flows. Good deed approval is for one of them, and others for sending wishes to Santa. Let's go with the app for real. So here we are in the app. The child will probably be inclined to clicking on rewards, so let's do that. Oh, isn't that sad? They don't have any good deed points, so they can't make a wish to Father Christmas. Well, as a child, let's go earn them. So here is where all the good deeds would show up. Child can record a new good deed. Let's say, made my bed. Then let's say it was this morning. And then description, more specific. I made my bed. There we go, that'll do. Now, this button here creates a SharePoint record that will trigger a Cloudflow. And what this Cloudflow does is it grabs the information of that SharePoint record and emails it to the parents for their approval and waits. When the parents have responded, the outcome email would come to the child, the good deeds status will be updated, and if needed, the good deeds score would be updated. Let's see if the email has arrived. Here we go. Let's refresh that. So as a parent, here you'd be able to check the email which would have been sent by Power Automate.
So while that's loading, I'm curious, how long have you been working with Power Apps? A year? Couple years?
Well, it's definitely at least a year.
Yeah.
I think I made my first app, I think it was back in January 2021, but before that, I wasn't making apps, but my dad was teaching me about Power Apps as I sat next to him during he was doing his work during the lockdown.
Yeah, taking advantage of that time for sure.
As a parent, they've received the email here where they can approve or reject it. Let's say we approve it. We can enter comments. Let's just say, well done. And then you can submit that. And that's when, now the parents have responded, you send the email back to the child. Let's log into my Outlook now. Nice and snappy. And then you have a little message here. Hooray, your good deed has been approved. Well done, you've earned 1 good deed point, and then the comments. Now, before we move on, let's see what that actual flow has been doing. So let's just give it a little refresh here.
What's the most good deed points you ever earned in one day?
I've not actually started using this myself yet because I only created it in December, pretty much the very end of my holidays. And then now all I've been using that for up to date is to present it. And hopefully sometime soon, maybe in my next holidays, I'll be starting to use it in this household again.
All right.
And
is this like a send and receive program?
I suppose so, yes. So here is the trigger so basically when the good deed is submitted, it creates that record in SharePoint which will trigger the flow. And here, get item, it drags in the good deed points into this flow. And then this is main part 1 out of 2, start approval request to parents. So it will start an approval step, start and wait for an approval to the parents, and in the step where it will create the SharePoint record, that means it will save the details of that good deed, and that's how in here all those details will be sent to the parents. Another important part, if it is approved, then it will send an approval email. So that was that email which we received. Status of the good deed will be changed to approve, and good deed score will also be updated. Well, in this case, it's +1. And if no, well, it was skipped. So let's just I can explain it, I think. So it'll send a rejection email, which is a nice encouraging message. And then the status will be changed to rejected, and there's no need to update the good deed score. Right. So let's go back to the app now. So the good deed has been done. The good deed point has been earned. I think the child's ready to make a wish. Let's go make a wish. Voila! A golden button has appeared. And you must have noticed that last time we clicked on reward and tried to make a wish, it came up with a screen telling us to go and do some good deeds before we make a wish. Well, how is it different this time? Well, I'll tell you how. The text has an if statement on the text property to determine which text will show up, and that's based on the good deed points. And this button's visibility property is also got an if statement, which is again based on good deed points. So child can make a wish, and here they can quickly say what they want. Say if it's a Lego Megatron Ultra or something, just say Lego. Here, if it's description. If you just said Lego, maybe you'd get some random Lego which you didn't want. You want Megatron Ultra specifically. So make it more specific in the description. I want a grey Megatron Ultra. Let's just say that. Then again, this button will create a record in SharePoint, which will trigger another flow. And in that flow, there's the trigger again, and now it'll grab that information of the good deed when it's creating the record in SharePoint. Oh, sorry, the wish. And then it'll email those details over to Santa, and then the good deed score will be updated. In this case, it's takeaway 1, but the parents can decide maybe it's takeaway 2 or 5 or 10, anything. And now let's see what. Firstly, let's check Santa's email first, which he is. Let me borrow for the purposes of this demo.
That's pretty amazing. You have access to Santa's email account.
Thank you. And
So how long have you been working on this?
well, actually, that was during my Christmas holidays back in December. I don't know how long I was working on it, maybe a week or 2 weeks, but yeah, eventually we got there.
Nice. So this looks very successful.
Thank you. And here, there it is, the wish which we created. And there's one last thing that's in the app, which I have to show. But before that, let's actually view the flow once again. And let's refresh that so that the most recent run will load up, which was probably just now. Maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but yeah. And send with Santa. Yeah, 1 minute ago. This is the one. So our flow ran successfully. Hurrah. And again, the trigger, when a wish is submitted, it creates a SharePoint record, which will trigger the flow, as you've probably heard me say quite a few times this presentation. Then it'll drag the good deed points in again, send an email to Santa. That's all those details which were put into that SharePoint record. Good deed score again, takeaway 1, and parents can decide maybe it's 2, 5, 10, anything. And go back to the app. So, the wish list itself. Here is where all the wishes the child has made are displayed. Now, the child has access to see all the wishes he's made. Right, so to end, this just goes to show that sometimes complex problems can have very simple solutions, just like my good Dita. Right, so any questions?
That was so great. Wonderful presentation. You've got your triggering flows from Power Apps, you're triggering off item updated, your multiple data sources, sending email, multiple personas in your demo. You are the man, little guy. That was awesome. Way to go. Thank you for coming on and sharing that with us.
If there are no questions, then finish off. Here's a little slide about me here. And there's QR code to my LinkedIn page and also URL below.
You're so brilliant. You're brilliant.
Thank you.
I saw one, not a question, but I saw a suggestion in chat. I don't know how your parents will feel about it, but the suggestion is hook up a custom connector to your flow. So when your parents approve it, a predetermined amount of money can be automatically sent from their bank account to your bank account.
That'd be good.
Okay. I thought you'd like that suggestion too. That's fantastic.
To conclude my presentation here, thank you all for listening to me today. Thank you for the opportunity. Hope to see you all again at some other event, maybe sometime soon. Bye for now.
Hey, and
Somebody
and
has
Todd,
their hand up.
You're welcome to come back anytime. We'd love to have you again. That
yeah,
was great.
absolutely. Hey, Todd, let's take a picture with everybody with their hands up and Pranav waving too. Yeah, like
okay.
Maybe we do a little photo.
Put on the together mode.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do a little.
There we go. How do we make the together mode full screen? There we go. Perfect.
Yeah,
all right.
together mode. Everybody jazz hands, okay? And anybody wants to turn on cameras, let's do it. All right, who's taking the picture? Is that me?
All right, I got it. 1, 2, 3. Hey, that looks good.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Great job, Pranav. Wow.
Thank you.
Amazing.
That is awesome. I think he received 4 job offers on the course of that presentation too, which is amazing. None of the adults ever get a job offers, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Mom and Dad, too, for sure. So,
yep. Definitely. Thanks, Mom and Dad and everybody. That was just fantastic.
Good luck following that, Robin.
Okay, Robin. Robin's turn now too. Robin's got that. Wait till you see his app here, Matt. Robin's got some crazy cool stuff going on.
I probably know as much about Power Apps as Pranav, and he knows a lot, I think, but he doesn't know how to be nervous. And I'm really nervous because 300 people are listening, and he just took it like a boss. And and I try to do the same and have the same energy and share my screen in a second. And we actually don't look at the presentation at all, but I want us just to look at the app, and we're going to jump from back and forth from the editor to the published version, because PCF components actually don't work in the editor. So we need to jump back and forth to look at the code. So first of all, welcome, and thanks for the opportunity, Todd, to be here. I have a topic that I really, really love, and it's SVGs in Power Apps, because they spice up every app a little bit. You probably shouldn't use them as much as are used in this app, but here and there, like a little chart or something that is animated, really spices up your app a lot and helps a lot. And I want to really feel or get a good impression what they can do for your apps. So we do it all in this app, and the app is downloadable in my GitHub with all the data inside the app. So I think Todd will share the source in the end. So if you like it, you can download it. And I separated this whole stuff in 6 levels, and we're adding another layer, and another layer of what you can do with SVGs, and then you can start exploring them yourself afterwards. First of all, a little bit about me, and this is our first level, just integrating SVG image that is uploaded to your app in an image control. Really easy way. You probably all have done it before. This is the company I work for, EnBW, a company in Germany. We are an energy company. And there I'm a Power Platform enabler. I'm enabling and coaching colleagues in using Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI. And I'm also a YouTuber and enabling the rest of the world in my free time making YouTube videos. And the second level is using SVG source code in an image control and making the Power App controls changing something in that source code, and we'll look a lot at that. And the third level you've probably seen right here is adding a layer of animation in that SVG source code. So this is not done by a timer control, but in SVG, it's much easier and better to do. So we'll have a look at that. And the next layer, the next level will be using a really boring command, the concat command. I don't know how often you use it, and if you think it is exciting when you use it with SVGs, it is, because it allows us to create maps, charts, animations, much more. And if this hasn't been enough, then what we were doing in the last minutes was giving information into an image. But of course, in a normal Power App control, it isn't possible to get information back from your image control. You can click on it and that's it. But in SVGs and in changing SVGs especially, it would be, many people told me for a year and a half, hey, it would be so cool if I can click on something in the SVG and somehow get the information out. So when Pranav did his wish list app, I did a PCF control who does exactly that. Spent my whole holidays working on this component, because now you can click on stuff in your SVGs and get information of the element that you were clicking on. And the PCF I'm working on right now has even more stuff it can do, because it can, for example, add drag and drop functionality to Power Apps, which is something that is really painfully missing in Power Apps. And I think I found a way to get it working on a level you can use it for probably everything. So we take a look at all that in the end. And first of all, we are taking a look at what are SVGs. SVGs stand for Scalable Vector Graphic. And when we zoom in these two images, this is a PNG and SVG, we can see the difference. When we zoom in really closely, in the PNG image, you see it consists of different pixels. And if you zoom in too close, then you see the single pixels. In an SVG pixel, if your monitor is good enough, you will never see a single picture, because you give information in, and not pixel by pixel, but you tell the computer how your image is constructed. So you tell them where a line starts, where a line ends, where there are curves in the line, and which colors it has. So in the second level, we need to change to the editor right now. There we want to look at how this works. So this, the next level is SVGs in Power Apps. How does the source code look like? And you will see it's actually quite easy to read. This is an image control, because it's named I'm an image control. And normally you put something in there that is in your media uploaded. So you say logo, and then it puts my logo up there, or my thumbnail. But you can also say to Power Apps, I want to put SVG source code in there. SVG source code is a lot like HTML code. It's also XML based, but we say it's a different XML namespace. It's the SVG namespace, and we use this header, and then Power Apps now knows how to interpret it and displays images. And let's take a look at a few lines of code. Of course, you have to know your ins and outs, how to write the code, but it's actually really easy to read. Because we can see here, this is a rectangle, has a width of 20 pixels, is filled white and has a stroke of red. So it has a red border. And you see this is this rectangle outer here. And next part, we're actually bringing information from the Power App inside to the image. So we're saying this is a circle, we say where it's positioned, and then we have a flexible radius. So the radius is altered by my slider right here. And let's take a look how this works. Can make our circle bigger and smaller. And as you saw, just one line of code, really easy to use. We can do the same for different stuff, and of course for different properties, and use the whole SVG code right here. And we can get even more complex shapes. So we can get a whole dinosaur in right here. We'll take a look at that in a second, and some rotation for good measure. As you can see here, this all is just a long string for Power Apps. So we're just passing in text, and we're using the same techniques we're using on labels. So breaking the text by double quotes and then adding some value from outside of the app. And this is actually my dinosaur, and this is a SVG element that is used a lot, the path element, which just says from one point to the next how this image is constructed, and you can even do crazy curves and stuff. I don't know how all of this works, because basically you're copying the code somewhere from the internet, and this dinosaur actually is a rip-off from PowerPoint, because PowerPoint icons are a great source for SVG images. Yeah, let's get a little bit more creative with this. So when we can load our dinosaur again, choose a color, load a comet, turn on epic effects. I didn't share my sound. Launch the comet. And this is all just with Power Apps controls. Right now, there is no animation on SVG level right here. It's just a timer control that controls the X and Y position of the comet. And animation is the next level we are looking at right now. And as you can see here, this is not controlled, or you can't see it, but we will look at the code in a second. This is not controlled by a timer control. This is SVG code that is moving this SVG circle right here, and we can change the speed to make it faster or slower. And we can add some other animations. I'll make it a little bit slower. And you can see the code to animate it right here. But we'll take a look at the code for a second. So this is the moving left to right part. And again, really easy to write. It's just 4 lines of codes, and it's really easy to read as well, because everybody of you will get what this does. This translates from X position 200 to 1800 and back to 200. And here we are changing the speed where this works. And here we can select some other animation, and every animation, just 4 lines of code. So we are turning the heat up a little bit more with maps and charts, which actually is my favorite topic. And you see me a lot posting about maps, and all my PCF components are based around maps as well.
Robin, I thought it was really funny how you talked about the animation on Twitter, and I think that's where you put it. And you said you could fit the animation code in the course of a Twitter tweet. That's how small it is and easy. I thought that was a great point to make, how easy it is to do.
I did it for this map, and I left it up here because with the concat
right there,
stuff like this, really easy. And this whole map is just 1 line of code we're going to look at right now. Because the gray map, you see, make it a little bit smaller, don't spoil anything. The whole gray map is just this line of code, and this is where the power of the concat command comes in right here, because as I said, this is all just one large string for Power Apps. And with the concat command, of course, we can do lots and lots of strings and put it together. So I have a collection right here. Let's take a look at it. And inside of the collection, there's what you saw in the path from the dinosaur earlier. So it's coordinates for a path element. And just drop it in here and repeat that for all the 16 states of Germany. And then we say they all have the same fill color, stroke width, and stroke. And then we have a map of Germany in just one line of code. And we can do even more crazy stuff with it and turn it into a chart, because using the animation again, and this is just a map, not that much of code. And we just because we know in the collection which is the population, divided by the maximum population, and then change the opacity based on that. And with, as you saw, animation again, 4 lines of code, really easy to do. And yeah, you can do it for the 50 states of the US. I have a YouTube video where you can turn every shape file into an SVG file and then use it in Power Apps. Really easy stuff, and free shape files are everywhere. Shape files of everything that you can think of, like different states or rivers, cities, everything. You can find everything. And yeah, this is another chart, another concat command, the same collection, but just displaying the labels, displaying a rectangle, which changes the size based on the population again, and using the same colors as here. So as I said in the beginning, we were all the time passing information to the image control, but the user experience really gets better if we can get information out of the map or out of the SVG. And yeah, this is where my PCF really comes in handy, because you all know the concept of cascading drop downs. When I select like my home state, and this is where I live. But if we do it the other way around, can just select it on the map. And it's much faster, much more intuitive for the user. And what is happening here, the PCF actually just gives out very little information, and we have a perfect synergy between Power Apps and the PCF, because all this PCF gives out is the tooltip. Basically, you see here, then it triggers a refresh button right here, and then all the other stuff is happening. The SVG image changes. This little SVG image here comes in. So PCF actually is really easy. It's just 200 lines of code. I have a detailed video about that, and you can download it and use it. And it's actually really easy to use in your app. Just have to say this SVG element has a class of selectable element, and you need to specify an ID, and then it passes this ID back to Power Apps, and you can use it for everything you like. And for the last part, we get a little bit more funky. I'm still working on that PCF. It's not quite there yet, but will come to life in a few weeks, where we actually, again, we get really little information out of it, but we can do great stuff with it with a little bit of creativity. We can, as you saw in the beginning, can drag and drop stuff, and then we drop it. And then again, in Power Apps, we're looking for the nearest city. The thing that my PCF tells to the app is just where did I start to drag the object, and where does the drag end? And then in Power Apps, we're calculating, we have a list of cities right here. We're calculating which is the nearest city, and can drop it there again. And I did a little debug right here, and this is all that the PCF is giving back to Power Apps. And we can use it for other stuff. We can graphically select stuff. Again, the rectangle is inside the PCF, but then again, we are calculating stuff in our Power App and changing the SVG image, highlighting the cities that are marked, and can do whatever we want with that. And I think this has some great potential for all the guys of you. I know you're trying to get games going in Power App, has lots of potential for that, and even for serious use cases. I have a few resources for you. I think Todd will show them in a minute, where you can find the presentation, where you can find my YouTube channel, where I have hours of videos about SVGs, and hope I sparked your interest in that topic and make your apps a little bit more interesting, more colorful, and more interactive for the people that work with them. Yeah, thanks for listening. That's it for my presentations.
Thanks, Robin. That was fantastic. Lots of incredible positive feedback in the chat. I'm not sure if you had your eye on it or not. The drag and drop one right here at the end really blew my mind. That's amazing. Very cool. So you've been working on, I'm just always amazed like how everyone can find some way to extend Power Apps in a way we haven't seen. Like every month somebody's like, oh, look what I can do with it. This is just another awesome example of that. What kind of apps are you going to build this into right now? You have something in mind in particular?
Well, the most important thing will be my 5-year-old daughter wants an app for her birthday where she can drag and drop a unicorn through a castle or something along a way. I have. Wait, I can hold it in the camera. I have a sketch actually what the app should look like. Don't know if you see it. I definitely have to build this by the end of April, so at least then you can expect the PCF to go public.
That's awesome. Hey, can you bring that app back and show us once you're done? I think everybody would love to see it.
When it's approved by my daughter, then
get her permission.
Perhaps there's a demo extravaganza this year.
Yeah, she can come help present. That's great. Yeah, should we do another jazz hands picture? Might as well. Robin. Woo!
Yeah, I can.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right. 1, 2, 3, cheese whiz, right? Cheese.
Everybody get your cameras on.
Yeah, everybody, cameras. Do it.
There we go. Let's see, about 20 people so far. Can we max out? Can we max it out? Sunshow's got it going on there.
Maybe. What was it? Plus 283
it's so
on this
crazy
call.
how like everybody lighting up. I know so many people here. It's so cool.
Yay! Now everybody, make sure you don't have your eyes closed. Give us a 1, 2, 3, Todd.
Huh?
Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, cheers!
2, 3. Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. Very cool.
There we go. Thanks for reminding on that, Heather. I forget to do that every single month. All right. Wow, Robin, that was awesome. Thank you. It's also another first. Robin plays lacrosse, and I play lacrosse. So this is the first time I know that I've ever had another lacrosse player on the call, too, with us. So that makes me excited. I was actually helping out my son's lacrosse team last night doing a meeting with all the coaches for the upcoming season. All right. So that brings us to the resources. So I know everybody's like, where can I get it? Where can I get it? So these are great places to go ramp up on Power Platform. Not the specific, that'll be next slide, to the things we just saw. But if you're looking to ramp up on Power Platform, if you've been inspired by what you saw today, I saw some people mention that in chat. I always am too, when everyone comes shows and what they've done. These are incredible places right here on this slide you can go learn. There's just no shortage of places to go learn and connect with other people to figure out how to do Power Apps. And here are the things specific to Robin's presentation with the SVGs. A tutorial on SVG, Robin's YouTube channel. The third link's probably what everybody wants. That's the actual app that he showed today. And that's got those PCF controls in it. And then that how to select the PCF in the PCF gallery. as well. If y'all haven't seen the PCF Gallery website before, I think you're really going to enjoy it. There's just control after control in there that do really helpful and interesting and sometimes just fun things as well. It's a great place to go look when you have a requirement to do something in Power Apps, because you may find someone else already coded your requirement for you. That brings us over to our recent news and cool stuff this month. So the first thing that I noticed is the big deal in the model-driven apps is the release wave 1. There's a lot of new things that have changed there. If you're building model-driven apps, I'm sure you'll be excited to see that. And then a couple of announcements. There's actually some more things that happen with portals, a big month for portals and GA and functionality there. So if you're using those things, I encourage you to check that out. And for those of you who do consulting and your clients aren't down with, putting preview things into production, now that they're GA, maybe it's time to go have a conversation with them and see if you can use that portal to help them out. Then the final one, I got a kick out of this one, the new Dataverse auditing features. I was going to check out, what can I audit in Dataverse? And I just thought it was funny that you can set the maximum audit retention policy for 100,000 days, just in case you need that. So in case everybody ever wonders, how long will it audit me? Well, a long, long time. That brings us to the end of our call today. As always, it's so much fun being here every month. I get so much energy out of this community too. Thank you to everybody who presented today, everybody who showed up, everybody who answered questions in chat. It's just great to be a part of this community. Our recording will be available in the Microsoft 365 PMP YouTube channel real soon, usually 24 to 48 hours from now. That's where you can find it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Microsoft 365 Dev or M365 PNP. We'll see y'all next month on March 16 at the same time at 8 a.m. And I can't wait to see the fun things we have to bring to you next time. Thanks again, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day and great week.
Yes, you too. Thank you, Heather.
Bye.
Thanks, Robin. Thanks, Pranav. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm reading through the chat right now.
Oh, yes, it takes a long time to catch up after you present, for sure. You're welcome. Come on back anytime you like.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
I'll be seeing you in a month.
All right, reach out if you've got something else. I'd love to hear from you again.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. See you later, everybody.
I know, I'm getting more coffee. That's what I'm doing.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.